Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going. Close. I think he's got it down.
How strong is he?
Welcome back to the Pick and Go podcast. It's your, it used to be your one-stop shop for all things Super Rugby. That season was all over and done with. So we're having a wee bit of a look at international rugby, and we'll have a look at a few other things rugby-wise. And once again, I'm joined in studio by former All Black, former Hurricane, former Blue. How many formers are we going with? Oh, good to have you back in, bro.
It's good to be back again.
All righty. Before we introduce our other guests, how did the weekend go?
The boys got the W. It was ugly just because of the weather, but the boys managed to, I guess, get it sorted while they were on the pitch and come through with the result.
So we're talking. Would you go to the Wairarapa or?
No. We played at school. They came over to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Righty-ho. So W on the board.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now usually we'd head up north to catch up with our good friend Surly. Once again, he's just a wee bit busy, although Piri has a conspiracy theory as to why he's not joining us.
What's that one?
Well, we'll get to it next week. But we are this week joined by former All Black, former Highlander, former Crusader.
Oh, how many formers do you want?
Former Magpie. Our good friend is Israel Dagg. Izzy, how are you going, mate?
Former roommate of Piri Weepu too. I got some stories about Piri. Don't get me started on that fella. Who stink, messy, hey, everything above. No,
Hi, bro.
Oh,
no, you be quiet there, pal. You do not tell those secrets, all right? Hey, good to be on there, boys. How you doing?
yeah.
Good.
Let's forget about the script. Let's go back to the roommates. This is brilliant. This is the first time I've heard this. How many times did you guys actually room together?
Well, couple.
Yeah, a couple
Couple.
of times.
Hey, used to bring them in.
Our room was very messy because he would always have two mates that would be holding his pocket as he walked into the room. Corey Jane and Albie Mathewson. Or if Zach was in the team, Zach would be following pretty close by.
So we'd set up the mattresses on the ground, take it back to the old roots and have marae styles. And Piri was our kaumātua. He was our leader, and he used to lead us astray plenty of times. So we won't even go there though, Piri. There's one moment that springs to mind in Takapuna in Auckland, but we don't need to touch on that subject.
Oh, I tell you what, we may have to introduce a Pick and Go after dark, and we could feature these stories from Izzy and Piri. But you did mention kaumātua, and I thought that's a good segue into our question of the week this week. With Adi Savia going to Moana Pacifica next season, if you had said that to me 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have thought, no, there's no way that can't happen. I cannot imagine him in a jersey, anything other than a Hurricanes jersey. But here we go. He's made the big move, and I guess if you look at it, he's got his brother there. There's those Pacific roots as well. It's almost. It seems logical now looking back, but if you look at the players that played this season, Super Rugby, what player would you least expect to transfer to another Super Rugby franchise? Now, if I think back, I look at Richie McCaw and I think I could not imagine him in anything other than a Crusader jersey. There's just no way. But if you look at the current crop of players, Izzy, which one would you say there's no way I would see him in anything other than the jersey he wore this season?
Just quickly on Adi, it caught me by surprise. I didn't see him go to Moana, but man, I think it's an awesome move for Adi. I think he's all about the people and about the community. Those are his people representing his Pacific Island brothers. And just listening over the last couple of days, what does success look like to him? It's not results. He wants to inspire the next generation and help these young crop. The Moana Pacific team in the past I think they're starting to grow some depth, and maybe more will follow in his footsteps. For me, it would probably be Geordie Barrett at the moment. I'd say Geordie Barrett. I'd be surprising if I saw him. There was conversations he might go to Auckland and follow his brother to the Blues, but he's at the Hurricanes. I'd love to see him down here in the Crusaders. He started his rugby in Canterbury, playing out of Lincoln. But, mate, I think, all the conversations around Geordie Barrett moving, I was like, nah, it can't happen. I didn't see Bowden moving when he made the shift, but now it makes sense because he's Auckland through and through, the hot dog, that is Bowden Barrett. But Geordie Barrett, I'd say he'd probably be one that would really surprise me if he left the Hurricanes. I know what that jersey means to him and his family. His dad Smiley played for them. If there's anyone that was going to be a big mover and potentially be a shock, it would be him. I know Piri's done it. I know Ma'a's done it. So maybe like the Hurricanes, there might be something in the water in the Hurricanes. What are you drinking?
Okay, Piri, now that we've heard from the Crusader Development Player Manager, how about you? Can you you look at the players that took part in Super Rugby this season, and can you pick one out and go, there's no way I can see him playing in another jersey?
Scott Barrett.
Scotty Barrett.
Going to play with his brothers in Super Rugby. One of them doesn't. It'll be interesting to see which one he would pick. Whether he go to Auckland or whether he'll come down to the Canes.
He ain't going anyway.
But still, we all said that about Bodie. Next minute.
I can understand his one. I think his wife is from Auckland. Her family's Auckland. She's from Auckland. So I think she moved down for his rugby initially, and it was time for him to then pay back the other way. I'm thinking that's what it was.
All three of them could play together one day. Like it could be something that could potentially happen. Like all three of them making a decision to go play together.
Not at the international level, he's talking more at Super Rugby.
Yeah,
rugby club level.
Well, that would probably be at the Hurricanes then, Izzy.
No, I don't think that Scott Barrett would make that decision. To be Scott Barrett is uniquely a country kid, totally different to Bowden and Geordie, and I just cannot see it eventually. He'd be a lost soul rolling around Wellington. He'd be a lost human. That can't happen.
Because there's a lot of country over here.
Rightio. Let's flip that question on its side. Now tell me a player that you would love to see transfer to your franchise. So in your case, Izzy, I guess we're talking the Highlanders.
No, we're not. We're not talking the Highlanders. We're not talking the Highlanders. Honestly, if I would love to see a player come down south and have a crack, I know it won't happen, but I'd love to see like a young kid like Josh Jacob come down from the Chiefs and have a crack at the Crusaders. Like they've got Rivers Reihana, who's got a huge potential. Taha Kamara, who's had limited opportunities, but I still feel like after losing a Richie Mo'unga, that's such a hard spot to fill. A player that's won everything, just really inspirational for what he did. So, I'd love to see a team come down and represent the red and black colours. Josh Jacobs a name, Bodie Barrett to come down and have a crack in Crusaders. I know it won't happen, but if I'm dreaming, I'd say probably one of the best 10s going around the country. Love to see them down south because that's just an important position that you need to really nail to win Super Rugby. And you saw the top teams, up in the north, you had the Blues, Harry Plummer, who played extremely well in the 10 position and how influential he was. And then you had Damon McKenzie playing for the Chiefs. So it's just, if you got a good 10, it'll go a long way to winning the competition. So Bowden Barrett, Josh Jacob, come on down, boys.
Right, Piri, same question to you. What player would you like to see transferred to the Hurricanes?
Wow. Probably Pirofita.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's that versatility that he has. But not only that, I think he could be a good influence in running the team as well at first 5.
I think that 10 position, like you look at the Hurricanes, they got Aidan Morgan, he's off. You got Brett Cameron, who's been around for a while, very experienced player, but does he have the X factor of probably other 10s around the country? That's probably the link that was missing for the Hurricanes to go all the way. I reckon that, if the Hurricanes were looking somewhere, Peter Feta to come down, jump into that 10 position, call the cutter, call the shots.
Bring Piri back, bro. Just bring the bro Bodie back.
Hey,
Come on, bro. Hockey my, brother. Hockey my.
I'd like to see Will Jordan come up and play for the Canes. Tell him there's some great golf courses here. We got Royal Wellington. We got Royal
golf courses.
We got the best golf courses in New Zealand, to be fair, within just a hop, skip, and a jump. Real easy to get to. Parapara Umu, where Tiger Woods.
Never played there.
Yeah. Oh, great links course up at Parapara Umu Beach. So yeah, if Will's there, here's a call, bro. We can sort something out. We'll get you up here.
I don't think that would ever happen. I do not see Will Jordan going to Wellington. There is no chance that the Crusaders are going to let that one fly. But golf courses, I can agree with that. I shot my best record at Miramar Golf Club, 70, right there by the airport. I may have hit a few onto the road, but I recovered really well. So I can agree with that from golf course point of view. But when there's golf in Wellington, it comes with a whole lot of wind. Let's be completely honest.
It helps you work on your game, my bro.
Exactly. Yeah. If you hit it on the road at Miramar, they have to close the bloody airport.
Well, there's that hole going back towards the runway. Oh, I did spray a couple there.
On purpose, I bet.
Forgive me.
Right. Yeah, this is going way off course. So I'll try and bring it back. Let's look at the All Black Test, Fiji. Yeah. And I guess Scotty Robertson, he was on a hiding to nothing, to be fair, because if they do anything but smash the Fijians, then people are going to be complaining. They'll find something to, why was it a close game? Why, But to be fair, and he made a hell of a lot of changes from the England series. So there was that, I guess, danger that they may not have had the cohesion that we expect to see from an All Black side. But in the end, they scored some very, very good tries. They looked good. Set piece was very, very good. Izzy, your overall analysis of that test match in San Diego?
I just think people, put so much pressure on Razor because what he did with the Crusaders, 7 titles, and, what he was able to achieve in such a short period of time, hasn't coached at international level and so on. So people would just have high expectations of this team and this group, but you got to realize that this group hasn't been together for a long time. There are multiple coaches in different positions, so there might be a lot of messages coming into the group. A lot of these players probably haven't had the amount of information that they're receiving in such a short period of time, so it could probably clog them up. But for me, look, I was happy, mate. They beat England, and this ain't no mug side. This is an English side that have been together for a long time. Under Steve Borthwick, they're trying to rediscover their game, find their identity. And actually, we saw a little bit of innovation from the English side that put the All Blacks under so much pressure. But in saying that, they got the result done. And then they went to take on the Fijians in San Diego. They made 11 changes. They had 6 debutants. And this is building for 2027 in Australia in the Rugby World Cup. So, mate, I think the result aside and the scoreline, I think they got a hell of a lot out of it, to be completely honest. I got to see a Billy Proctor that, had an outstanding season in the centres. He thoroughly deserved his selection into the squad, and he got an opportunity to go out and play in a game where, yes, you're not going to receive the line speed that the English pose. You're not going to receive the threats that the South Africans, the Irish, put against you. But you're still playing international rugby, and you're still playing at the highest level. And what comes with that is the expectations, the pressure of representing that jersey. And so he would have felt it, and I thought he really stood up, mate. He was outstanding, and we saw a glimpse of, if Billy's given time, of what kind of centre he could be. A distributing centre, a busy centre on both sides of the ball. Loved what he was about. So, yeah, the scoreline probably, everyone was a little bit like, why don't we pump them by 80? But this is Fiji that last World Cup nearly went all the way. So, you gotta show some respect and understanding. And mate, I think it's a pass mark. Like there is a whole lot of room for improvement. The line out struggling a wee bit. Execution, we probably left at least 6 or 7 tries against Fiji because of just that last pass going the ground. They'll tidy those up in the next couple of weeks. But for me, mate, it's an exciting time. We get to see a lot of these young players. Cortez Ratama, Piri, man, how good is it seeing him have a crack in the 9 position? It's a position that he's tough, he's different, he brings a bit of X factor to the game, and then you put on a Noah Hotham out of nowhere. So, I think it's a pretty exciting time to be an All Black supporter.
Piri, as he mentioned there, a number of debutants. So Robertson not only made a whole heap of changes, he also introduced a number of debutants for into the All Black squad, either off the bench or in the starting 15. Billy Proctor, very, very impressive. And I think we have to put it into perspective. That Fijian team has beaten England and Australia over the last, year and a half or so. So this is a very, very good Fijian team. I think we have to move away from the days where the All Blacks would go out and they'd beat the likes of Manu Samoa or Fiji, and they'd beat them by 70 or 80 points. I think those days are probably gone. But when you look at that test match in San Diego and you look at the debutants, how impressed were you with the way that they performed?
Oh, yeah, was pretty impressed actually. Like as he said, Billy's probably been the form centre this year in Super Rugby. So for him to get his opportunity, like you said, maybe not didn't get the go ahead against England, but giving him an opportunity in a position, especially defensively, which is a hard gauge because you've got to make a decision on what your guy on the inside is doing, and if he goes and jams in, you've got to chase him, or you've got to make a call whether you're going to get the guy at the back door or tackle the guy in the front door. And I think he's been pretty sound majority of this season. So for him to get that opportunity, Ratuma, I thought he was awesome until he got his concussion. Just getting there as quick as he could. Probably a few things, obviously new to the structure and everything, where a few times he went one way and then realized he was going the wrong way. But that comes with opportunities and just trying to get more time in the saddle at that international level. And then not only that, Hotham coming on. So I'm happy with the depth that they've created early. This is how they can sort of battle it out, especially in that nines department. I mean, with the 2 boys that played on the weekend, you've got Cam Roigard, Chris there, Fakatava's another option, and TJ as well. We're pretty much stacked in that department. There's probably maybe 2 positions that we don't have the full depth. One probably be in the forwards, where they're trying to look for height but have the size at the same time. But I was pretty happy with the way that everyone played on against Fiji. Totally different coaching staff too, the Fijians have. So it's not the same coach that they had last year into the World Cup. Mix got that opportunity, and I guess for him to play against the ABs for the first time will be good learnings for him. Just in terms of the way that he can get these boys playing a lot better, especially up against all the top 10 nations.
It's now you may not know this, Izzy, but if you were listening to the Pick and Go podcast last week, you'd know that Piri put a curse on the halfbacks.
Oh, I did not.
We asked him for a hunch, and he goes, "Well, if you look at the number 9s, Cam Roigard, bang, he got injured. TJ Piranada, bang, he got injured.
Go.
Next thing you know, Cortez Ratima, no. I couldn't believe it. As soon as
my hunch was the boys were going to get 9 tries, not 9. The 9 was going to get knocked out.
How many did they get?
7. I was close.
But I guess looking through that back line, and I guess Billy Proctor was a shining light and a back line that functioned very, very well. Bodie looked really, really good at the back. It's good to see that we've got a wee bit of competition because Perofeta looked very, very good during that English series. Bodie, as we know, when he came on in that English, he looked very, very good. And he looked, once again, he looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Sometimes I think you can come back from overseas and you're just a half a pace behind everyone else. Well, he didn't look that way. He looked very, very good. And Caleb Clark, who, as soon as you give him the ball, you think something's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's so big, strong, fast. It's really, really hard to, I guess, if you look at it, pick out a player of the match. But I'm still going to ask you, Izzy, give us your player of the match.
I can't go past Billy Proctor, to be honest. I think he was involved in everything and just his work rate. And you watch him when he makes breaks, usually a lot of players would tuck. He's got the ball in both hands. He's, adjusting the ball from right to left to get his fend going. He's always looking to pass the ball, pass first, and then it's not on, tuck it, go into contact. He's got that hit and spin. He does a hit and spin and spins off the player and keeps his feet, keeps on his feet and gets the ball going. So I think Billy Proctor, I think he'd be really proud and happy with that performance. I think Bowden was outstanding. I think I wasn't really a believer in the Bowden dual playmaker kind of scenario, but I think the more we see of it, I actually think it's really instilling a lot of belief in Damian McKenzie. Damian McKenzie is understanding his role, having Bowden and all his 120-plus test experience there has given him confidence to call the shots, to pull the trigger on certain things and play the way that DMAC plays. So, yeah, like the more that Bowden's involved, I was actually surprised with how well he's gone too. He's been over in Japan. He's coming back from a knee injury, but mate, he's looked very assured at the back. So, look, he would have pushed close to making it. And then Caleb Clark, mate, like you already said, just played outstanding throughout Super Rugby, got his opportunity, scored a double, probably should have been a hat-trick. And you know what Razor Ray loves? He loves a winger that grinds, a winger that just works extremely hard, like your Sevu Reis. They're very, very busy. And then he loves a winger that has got muscle, that has got brute strength, that can just break open a game from nothing. Aseta Tamani Valu for the Crusaders. So, yeah, I think that it makes for a good headache for Razor Ray going forward with the winger position. There's a lot of positions there's a little bit of uncertainty there, though. I think you look at the loose forward trio, Blackadder coming in and saying, well, don't forget about me. And it actually made a perfect sense with Artie Savier's game. Artie's allowed to play freely, his roaming, his running game. He's good jackal over the ball because you've got Blackadder and you've got Luke Jacobson just doing the graft, doing the hard yards, hitting rucks, creating a bit of presence at the breakdown. So you look at your locks, your loose forwards, and your outside backs, centres, probably those are the positions that they're like, going to be a bit of conversations to be had leaving into the Rugby Championship.
Yeah, Piri's right. Izzy's right. Razor's going to have a number of headaches, good headaches.
Yep.
And who he actually selects. So if you look back at that test match against Fiji, who was your player of the match, Piri?
I was looking towards Billy, but also I thought Blackadder was awesome. Like his work ethic. It could have been between him and Jacobson. I mean, they pretty much did the exact same thing. Ball skills was good, carried when they needed to carry, a menace at the breakdown. So yeah, I was looking at Billy until old mate said Billy, and then I was like, okay, we'll go with Blackadder because he's obviously a different position, but just his work ethic around the pitch.
Well, they do that grunty work as well, don't they? And sometimes it goes unnoticed by the public, by the fans. But if you're in a team that's got a player who does all that, you appreciate that big time. And
Yeah, we had that.
Well, it was
The goat, mate.
what? Oh,
It was a pain in the ass when he wasn't opposite you. He was in your team. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you just need those grafters, the ones that you're like looking at the ruck, you're like, I want to hit that, but I don't really want to go off my feet and get out of the game. Go, Rico, get in there, hit it. It's a black adder.
Yeah. Just going, then he picks the boy out of the ruck and like, how did you get that out of all of that and not get penalised?
the test match in San Diego. Did you guys ever play in America?
I played in Chicago, played against the United States. I missed the game against Ireland. We actually lost. So I've never lost against Ireland. Sorry about that. No, but I played in San Diego at Soldier Field, which is the home of the Chicago Bears. So it was a pretty unique experience. I've actually played sevens in San Diego as well at the Padres Stadium. So, mate, it's an awesome place. Awesome place to play. The Americans just do it so bloody well. They know how to do sport, the entertainment, the fighter jets leading up to the game, the tailgate parties. Mate, bring that to New Zealand. We're so boring here, eh?
Oh, you're telling me it's just like the tailgate parties in Durban.
Yeah,
Well,
everyone else does it well. We just
Yeah,
love
we just
walking
go
up to
get
the
in the
game
mix.
and being nice.
Well, Izzy just mentioned the Padres in Petco Park, and
Have you ever thrown the first pitch?
yeah, tell us about it.
No. Have you?
No, not me, but Skux has.
Has he?
Yes.
That would have been horrible.
Nah,
Hey.
I hit him up and he reckons, no, I was practicing.
You straight over the base, eh? Oh,
He actually did all right. He wasn't allowed on the mound because apparently
I'm glad he went in practice because there's been some shockers on the Twitter on videos that have been, memes have been created about them. A couple of shockers out there.
50 Cent.
yeah.
So for those of you who don't know who Skux is, it's Ma'anonu. Okay. Just
I was super jealous too when I seen him. I was like, "Oh, bro, you never even played softball, man."
Cheapest. That's a big deal throwing the first pitch out at a
That's because Don Trick is there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's why Don Trick is there.
Oh, okay.
And he's at Legion. He'll be the mayor of bloody San Diego at the moment, wouldn't he? Old Skux. Saw him on TV the other day wearing his sunnies. I was like, come on, bro.
Oh, but I was about to reply back to his thing. Just, what's this with your Mills, mate?
Yeah.
Is it sunny as there, is it?
Oh, did he catch up with Mills when they were over there?
Got the interview.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well. Well, look. You guys might get the chance one day to throw out the first pitch at some tournament, some big MLB game over there. You don't give up yet, guys. Don't give up.
No, I think Piri's in the same boat as me and saying, look, there's a long line and we're at the back. Okay, let's be honest. When you think of the era we played in, we're at the back.
Yeah. Just take shit rolls down the hill. If you're not at the top, why you're sitting at the bottom, bro? That's us.
We're going off course again. This is unbelievable.
You got 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Well, let's have a quick look at. There are a number of other internationals on over the weekend, and over the last 3 weeks. So if we look at the results, and there were some great Portugal, Georgia, who put up a great, and they both scored length of the field tries as well. They're very entertaining, but they've got some skills to burn as well. So if we look at those other internationals and look at how, I guess, the teams in the Rugby Championship went, who do you think is best positioned at the moment to take out the Rugby Championship? And I can tell you, the odds that the bookies have, the South Africans, the world champs, are favourites at $1.60, and that's probably on the back that they have 2 matches against the All Blacks over there. The All Blacks are $2.50, Wallabies $15 and Argentina $21. So South Africa are favourites at $1.60, but we have taken money on the All Blacks at $2.50 to win the Rugby Championship, albeit both of their test matches against the Springboks will be in South Africa. Is he?
Yeah, that's a line in the sand moment, isn't it? To see really where this All Blacks team's at, taking on South Africa. In South Africa, we both played there. It's just it's a unique experience, man. Like you just never feel anything like that. The pressure, the altitude, everything that comes with playing in South Africa, playing in an afternoon game, the lead up. Oh, it's going to be huge. Look, South Africa, obviously a hell of a series against Ireland. They got one. They got pipped once. Plenty going on and plenty coming out of that game against series against the Irish. South Africa will be South Africa. I fully believe, and I don't know where I'm getting this from, but something inside me tells me the Wallabies are going to be competitive. Something there is telling me that Joe Schmidt, Mike Cron, and co are starting to find and deshackle this Wallabies outfit. You win a couple of games on the trot, you start building confidence and belief within the group. You start, Fraser McWright, very good in the loose forwards. Tom Wright, must be something in the right, playing really well in the back. You got a 10 with Ben Donaldson. They had Lenard's son making his debut, Noah Lawson. So, look, honestly, the biggest surprises I feel will be the Wallabies. I hope like hell they don't win the Bledisloe back. But I think they can go throughout this Rugby Championship and push right to the very end and be competitive. I think the All Blacks all day, but if I'm going to think someone outside of the box, I'm going to go with the Wallabies and Joe Schmidt and what he's been able to do there.
Wow, they are $3.10 at home to beat South Africa in their first match of the Rugby Championship. They're 8.5-point underdogs, the Wallabies. So if you like what Izzy's saying, that should represent a wee bit of value. They could catch the South Africans on the hop there. Like, if they're not expecting them to put up a fight, look. And the one thing I guess that Schmidt has got going early is a winning sort of mentality. Look, they haven't beat the best teams in the world, but they've got that winning mentality back, which they needed after that performance in the World Cup. So, yeah, he certainly turned things around very, very quickly. It'll be very interesting to see how they go in the Rugby Championship.
Same. I think, it's a nervous time. We don't really like to see our Wallabies counterparts playing well and getting results, but makes for an interesting Bledisloe Cup. Bring it on.
Piri, if you look at the Rugby Championship, do you think the South Africans are a wee bit too short at $1.60, or? And don't they usually, like, they turn up at World Cup time and then they sort of, it's almost like they're planning right now for the next World Cup. So they're happy to drop a test match here or there if it means that they can introduce a few more players when they get to World Cup time.
Yeah, just watching their series against Ireland, and Rusty with his 5-6 forwards on the bench. I'm almost getting 6 put on my bloody bench from the mayor. He's like trying to figure out how I can only have one back. If he had his way, there'd be no backs. But I think it's just they're trying to develop certain strategies leading into the next World Cup. So maybe part of this is the strategy of having 6 forwards on the bench that can come on and I guess continue the work that the starting pack had done leading into the substitution. But I'm actually enjoying the look of the ABs at the moment. Like just the work that's been changed through different management, so to speak, and obviously Razor's got his ways of coaching, and then he's got his workers underneath him that can help get what he needs out of it, or make sure that they get those processes right for the boys so that they can played good footy. But I think that England series was a good eye opener for everyone. That, like as you said, that English team have been together for quite some time now. They were quite close in some of the tests in the Six Nations earlier on this year, and then for them to come down here and continue some of the footy that they had played during their Six Nations is huge, and for the boys to sort of stay in the fight for the full 80 minutes is what we haven't had in quite some time. And I think maybe it's the fact that Razor and co are trying to push these boys a bit harder, so that for 80 minutes they're focused, and they're not making big errors in key moments in the game. So I'll probably say that I want the boys to do really well throughout the championship. I'm not so big on the Wallabies.
There are plenty of punters out there who want the All Blacks to do very, very well in the Rugby Championship. I know Izzy's got to go very, very soon, so I thought we might just touch on the Olympics. So just have a look at the markets there for the men's and the women's tournament. And in the men's tournament, France with Anton Dupont are the favourites at $3.25. Argentina, second favourites at $4. And then New Zealand, they're on the third line of betting at $4.50. Fiji are $6. The double Olympic champions, Fiji, are at $6. So if you look at the men's side of that tournament, anything stick out to you, Izzy?
Argentina, man, like they've been good in the World Series, haven't they? But then you saw what the Anton Dupont effect has done for the French. I'd hope the All Black Sevens get up and get the job done. But it's hard to really understand the Fijians. What's happened to them? Like they just fallen away. The last couple of World Series haven't really been the threat that they have been in the past. Maybe they'll find a way. The Olympic gold and that dangling that carrot might find some inspiration there. I can't go past the French and the Anton Dupont effect. Hey, like what a player, what a man to be able to come back, play 15s 1 week, go have a crack at sevens, win an event, come back and play for Toulouse and win the top 14, whatever they won last time. Mate, he's just a phenomenal man. So I'm going to say, yeah, the French probably. French, but All Black Sevens all day, men's and women's. They got my support, but it's French.
The women are favourite at $2, with the Australians at $3, and then the French at $8, with the Fijians $15. So the women are favourites to defend their title, but they'll get a bit of a hurry up from the Australians and France with that home crowd behind them. They'll be very, very tough themselves, and they have developed some very, very good players over the last couple of World Series.
No, they have. I think it's always like obviously the last few years it's just been sort of in the women's game, the Ferns and the Wallaroos. But I mean, I think teams are actually starting to build a bit more now, knowing that Olympics is one of the sports that you can go and get a gold medal for. So it's not only are they growing it in the international department, that it's growing across the world in terms of numbers that girls are trying to play sevens and be on the world circuit. So yeah, it's been interesting to see the French coming, being a lot more stronger this year in the women's game, and like as you said, with the French team being the favourites, I'll still back the boys to get the job done, but I can't go past Fiji either. I mean, they've been
100%
double gold medalists in the sevens, and it's like World Cup. They show up a totally different team when it comes to World Cup, and it's the same. I feel it would be the same when it comes to the Olympics.
Right, let's do some punting. You've got $50 each to spend on the men's tournament and the women's tournament. Izzy, where are you putting your 50 on the men's?
Oh, you done it to me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
France at home. Should I? Will I? France at home. Women's. All Black Sevens. Blackfern Sevens. To get it done.
Right. Right. So France, they you're taking the two favourites. So the French and the men's $3.25, and the Black Ferns at $2. Piri, you?
25.
Oh, you're splitting it.
Yeah,
Oh,
25
gee.
on
Can't just do a simple
Nah.
$15.
25 on the AB's boys and 25 on Fiji for the men's.
Yeah.
And then the 50 on our women to get the job done.
Righty ho. I agree with you. But Fiji, they step up when they get to the big tournament, the big ones. They step it up. So I'm not concerned about their form coming into this. I know when they get there, it's all on. So my 50's going on the Fijian men to win, and I'll stick with the Black Ferns to defend their title at $2. So yeah, we're not too far away, to be fair. So I know Izzy, he just can't. He struggles to look away from favourites. He loves a favourite. Just go.
No, I don't. I just bet with my head, and I just think being at home, having probably the most influential player in world rugby there, the fanfare, the support, they'll be hard to beat. But Fijians, they love the flair, they love the moment of the Olympics, so they potentially might get there. But the Black Fern Sevens all day. Black Fern says Georgia Miller, player of the tournament, 100%.
Oh, no, she's got some wheels, that girl. Boy, oh boy,
It's so good.
Righty ho. I think we've done it. Did you have a hunch? I didn't want to ask you if you've got a hunch this week, because your hunch this week.
I've got a hunch.
Bad.
My hunch.
Yeah.
My hunch is for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck to score a double this Friday night at Mount Smart Stadium, Go Media Stadium, against the Tigers, and to cement his spot in the outside backs.
Whoa. I don't mind that one at all. That's a pretty good hunch.
There you go again. I don't mind that.
That's a good one. There's no negative. Oh, well, this guy got injured. This guy got injured. Oh, next thing, another guy got injured.
Oh, wow.
Have you got a hunch?
No, I don't.
Yeah, good. we don't want anyone else getting injured. All righty. I think we've done it. We've got to the end of the show. We went off course once again, a couple of times, but we got through pretty much everything we wanted to. I guess next week we'll be having a look at just how the rugby's going over there in Paris. And we might have a little look forward to the start of the NPC as well. Because I can't wait. Oh, I love NPC footy.
Get up the Magpies. Hey, next time, just give me a bit more time so I'm not late to my PT class in 1 minute.
Oh, well, next time, don't go and play golf with Richie McCaw. And then you can get everything lined up as it should be.
I'll work my Tuesday around you, Piri.
Mate, I got to 10 o'clock.
Oh, here we go.
Get a phone call at 9 o'clock. Hey, you know how I said 9 o'clock? Can we change it to 10 o'clock? Can you come now?
I appreciate it, boys.
So I'm going to get changed, got to get dressed and have a shower. Jeepers.
Righty-ho. Hey, thanks for listening.
I'm up at 4:30 all day, every day.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks, Izzy. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk again another time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.